Okay, I think shall we start, Lakshmi?
Yes, madam. Yes, we can start.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, all. We are really fortunate and also thankful to Dr. Balaji and Loki for introducing Lakshmi to KLE Tech. So, thank you, Lakshmi, for accepting and also presenting this session. Just a brief intro of Mr. Lakshmi Narayan. Lakshmi currently is the Director and Head of Intellectual Property Rights and Innovation Management Department in Samsung R&D India, Bangalore. He is responsible for championing invention creation, patent protection and building of high quality patent portfolio for Samsung India. Under his leadership, Samsung India has grown from 30 A1 patents 5 years back to 100 A1 patents in 2020, as shared by Dr. Balaji sir. So Lakshmi has more than 20 years of experience in IPR, patenting of software technologies and management of large global patent portfolio. Lakshmi is a graduate in mechanical engineering from Institution of Engineers, LLB from Karnataka State Law University, and also LLM in business law. He is registered to practice before Indian Patent Office since 2002. So during Lakshmi's IP leadership, already I said, the Samsung R&D Center became top patent filing company. At least 2020 it is topping in India in IT sector. So Samsung Bangalore Center won under Lakshmi's leadership National IP Award year 2015, WIPO IP Enterprise Award year 2015, Zeno Great Place to Innovate year 2015, 2000 and Zeno Great Place to Innovate Award 2017, Samsung Special Award 2016, Confederation of Indian Industry IP Award 2017 and National IP Award 2018 and also Asia IP Elite year 2019 award for Best Mobile and Telecom IP Teams in Asia. So Lakshmi has featured in IIM Strategy 300 as a world's leading IP strategist for the 5th successive year by the reputed intellectual asset management business platform. He was also featured as Young Intellectual Creating a Difference in India by reputed Synapse IP blog. So actually we are very fortunate to have Lakshmi today. Thank you so much, Lakshmi. Over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, madam, for the kind introduction. Good evening, all of you. Today, what we will see is an overview of IP management, and some questions have been already there from the KLE University side. First, we will get an intro of what is intellectual property rights, what are the different forms of intellectual property rights, and then we will see an overdose of examples. The overdose of examples will really churn our mind to understand what is it that is getting patented. Once we get to know what is getting patented, then we will have challenging discussions to understand what should be the patentable point, be it software or be it algorithm or be it mechanical inventions, it could be anything. Okay. Feel free to stop me at some point when necessary. While giving examples, I will go slightly faster because there are many examples, and then we can start now. Are we going to have a break or we will have a continuous session, ma'am?
Yeah, it is up to you. We can have 5 minutes break in between, 5-10 minutes break.
5 o'clock we will consider. Yes, we will do that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let us understand what is intellectual property. Imagine when we purchase land, when we purchase house, we go and register before the registrar office. When we buy vehicles also, we go and register before the RTO office. The house and land are examples of immovable property. Vehicle is an example of movable property. Both these properties, when we go and register, we claim the ownership of the property. What will be there in the registration document? We will have our information, who is the owner and what is the nature of the property. These two will be available in the registration document. Same way, we all are educated people. We also have the sixth sense. We do have creativity. We will also come up with lot of ideas. Those ideas we tend to apply in products, processes, services, as well as business models. When we apply these ideas into any one of these four, we give exposure of the idea to public. It is highly likely that anybody can use our ideas without asking them. Without our permission, they can use it. To avoid such use, such unauthorized use, what we do, we can register our ideas also before the patent office. Patent is the registration document for our ideas. Ideas, when we apply in products, processes, services and business models, they gain commercial value. If we own house or land, we can rent them out to anybody else who want to use. Same way, if we own patents and if we have patented ideas, you can rent it out for use by others. The rent that we get it is called royalty in the legal language. There are different types of intellectual property rights. One is patents that we saw. It's all about creative ideas. Designs means our creativity can lie in just shape of an object which has aesthetics. For example, a peacock shaped mobile stand. A peacock shaped mobile stand. It looks very beautiful. It can still be an element, a component for registering as a design. Patents is for ideas. Generally they are technical in nature. Designs are meant for only shape. Mercedes-Benz had design registration on oval shaped headlights for car. Usually cars have different shapes. The headlights, when it is oval in shape, it makes the car look beautiful. So they have filed design registration for the aesthetics of the headlight itself. Next is trademark. When we have creative ideas, we apply it into products, processes, services and business models. They become new feature in those products. Don't we give a name to the new features? We can create a new product altogether, or we can create a new feature in an existing product. The new feature is a name. The name alone we can register, and that is called trademark. Trademark is for name. Design is for look. It is otherwise called aesthetics. There is no technical functionality in design. Patent means it's all about idea and working of the idea. What is copyright? Copyright means it is generally literary and artistic work. A poetry, a drama, movie, they are all considered as copyrightable work. The software code that we write, a computer program in code form, is copyright subject matter. So these are the four important things that we can understand. There is also other one called semiconductor integrated circuit layout protection. This is technical in nature, but this is inside a semiconductor chip. Lot of circuitry, how the substrates are arranged, how the wiring goes into, what is the arrangement of this layout. We cannot explain this easily in paper. Therefore, we have to submit mostly AutoCAD drawings for protection. This is semiconductor IC layout. There is a separate body where you can submit it. Then geographical indications. All of you know geographical indication means because of the geography, a product gets unique speciality. For example, Kanchipuram silks. The silk that is woven in Kanchipuram only should be named as Kanchipuram silks. The silk, same type of weaving, if we do it in some other place, say in Bangalore, we cannot call it as Kanchipuram silks. Same way, Tirupati Laddu. The laddu which is made and sold in Tirupati only, we should call it as Tirupati Laddu. It has been protected by geographical indication. The way the materials are used, the way the material ingredients are grown and used to create a product, the geography has an important contribution to the speciality and the market value for the product. Therefore, it is called geographical indication. Geographical indication is owned by society. It is not owned by any individual. Same way, plant variety protection. Plant variety protection means there is we heard a farmer who created a single plant. In the single plant, he is able to grow potato as well as tomato. So a plant which grows both tomato and potato in the same plant can be patented by, separately filed as a plant variety protection.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I think slides are not changing.
No. All these are, I am just giving introduction for the same slide only. We will go deep into the next one. Are you able to see the slide, sir? Okay.
Yeah, yes, go ahead.
Yes. So in the previous slide, we just took a summary of what are all the types of intellectual property rights. I hope you understood that. What we do, we will concentrate more on patents. In the current modern world, patents and copyrights have the highest value. Okay, patents. What is the criteria for patenting? If we have an idea, we have to apply a test called Nunn's test on that idea to evaluate whether we can apply for a patent or not. What is this Nunn's test called? N stands for novelty. Novelty means the idea must be new. New means what? It should not have been published anywhere in this world. It should not have been used anywhere in this world. It should not have been even suggested anywhere. Completely new. New means you are the first person to even propose that kind of idea in this world. That is called novelty, otherwise called newness. What is absolute novelty? Absolute novelty means anywhere in the world, nobody has even proposed this kind of idea in any form. This is called novel. Second one is called utility. Utility means ideas can be just imagined without telling how to apply. A mere imagination has no utility value. For example, I can propose that what if human beings are able to fly in the air like birds? It's a very good idea, but can we really do it? If I have to show that I can do it to a believable extent, I don't need to really fly and show to get a patent, but I have to give some elements, what I will fix on my body, how those frames will move, all those I have to show to a believable extent. Then people will feel, yes, your idea is useful to the society. That is called utility. Mere imagination is not patentable. You don't need to show the prototype to even get a patent. You need to give believable examples on how you will make the idea work. That is important. The third point is called non-obviousness. Non-obviousness is otherwise called inventive step. Inventive step is used in certain jurisdictions. Non-obviousness is also used in some eastern part of the world. What is this? The idea has novelty. Idea is also useful, but it should be intelligent in nature. That is called inventive step. What is intelligence? There are general knowledge idea. There are also intelligent ideas. What is general knowledge ideas? Imagine I have a chair. There is a chair. The chair keeps falling whenever a heavy person sits on the chair. This is a problem. I am trying to propose two more legs to the chair. The chair already has 4 legs. I am proposing 2 more legs to the chair, and then the heavy person doesn't fall. The problem is solved. It is useful, but there are extra legs attached to the chair. Is this intelligent idea or this is a general knowledge idea? You may be thinking in your mind. The answer is this is general knowledge idea, because everybody knows if you add 2 more legs, the heavy person will not fall. The chair will become more stable. But what if I remove 3 legs and keep just 1 leg and the heavy person doesn't fall at all? It gives an element of surprise, right? That surprise is called wow factor in corporate language. That wow factor, you just measure it with general observation from a group of people who are surrounding you. As soon as we tell an idea, if people are getting surprised, then generally you can decide it has inventive step. You don't need to apply law at all here. Throughout the course of this presentation, we will not use legal language, we will use only common man's language. Let us understand the statutory regulation. Statutory regulation means what? For any kind of idea, we won't get patent rights. Any idea that is very, very dangerous to the public, government doesn't give patent rights. Even in India, a method of diagnosing a disease is not patentable. See, anything that is extremely useful to the public, that means, for example, a method of curing cancer in, say, in 1 month. Such things, government has a power to take your invention and pay you some small money. You cannot enjoy the patent rights to the fullest extent as much as you do for other normal inventions. So generally those inventions that are flourishing are very simple in nature, which creates excitement to the public. Those are the ones which generally do very well in the market. So applying, you have to check whether idea follows all these criteria to even decide for patenting. Novelty, we have to, I will tell you in the next few slides, we will get to know how to understand this inventive step, and then all other things become very simple. Lot of examples are there, then we will go into some software examples also. What could have been the point of patenting in each of these examples we will see. I will explain to you what is toothbrush. A toothbrush has a handle. Someone is asking control for this presentation. Should I allow or what should I do? Shivaraj?
You are the only presenter.
Okay, fine. So there is a toothbrush. Imagine a toothbrush which has a handle. What if you make the handle hollow and then place toothpaste in the toothbrush? You make the toothbrush handle as hollow and place toothpaste in it. This solves some problem of carrying toothpaste and the toothbrush separately. So it is a hardware invention. It is patentable. It was patented long ago when it was novel. What are we considering as inventions here? We have to understand. One point is, if it is a hardware, if it is a software, what we will do? 97% of the inventions in this world are incremental in nature. Incremental means a small change has been done. That's all. Most of it is already existing. A small change is done. 3% of the inventions in this world are breakthrough inventions. What is breakthrough invention? Nobody has seen such product in the world. First time we are totally seeing. For example, when radio was invented, that was first time. When television was invented, first time the world saw what is television. A floppy disk, a CD, all these are DVD player, all these are first time inventions. They are all breakthrough inventions. But generally people target incremental inventions. They are also patentable. If you look at the toothbrush, if it is a hardware, what we will do? We will find out one part and then make a change in that part. The change is what we call as the idea, not the entire portion. The change. What is the change? The toothbrush handle becomes hollow, and then in that hollow space we are accommodating toothpaste. So toothpaste, inbuilt toothbrush is the new point. Toothbrush is already known. Only toothpaste accommodating cavity was not there. That is what we have to patent it. This is a teapot. First of all, why these things are coming, these kind of ideas are coming? Every change on an existing product or existing software solves a problem. They have to solve a problem. Only then you will be able to benefit, and society also will be able to benefit. Sometimes you may give more in the name of user experience. See, we are buying 60,000 rupees phone, 1 lakh rupees phones are available. Are they not solving problems? Yes, problems are solved, but when you give more to excite the customer, those may be valuable commercial points which you can apply for patents. For example, let us see teapot invention. In this teapot, one pot is there, there are 2 taps. That means what? When 2 taps are there in the same pot, you can fill 2 cups simultaneously. That means what? In a tea shop, when such teapot is used, large enough, so about 100 people, if they have to be serviced, then they can be serviced in half the amount of time because 2 taps are there in the same teapot. That's something new. Taps are known, pot is also known. How do you place it and where do you use, where do you show the problem statement and solution statement? That decides whether we can get a patent or not. See, letter drop box. Letter drop box means usually people keep going out and checking whether a newspaper has been delivered or not, or whether a letter has been delivered or not. What if as soon as the letter is delivered into the drop box, what if our door bell also starts ringing? What if they are connected? It solves a problem of unnecessary anxiety and waiting to receive the letter. That is how we have the connection. This connection is new. Nobody connected the letter drop box with the bell. If we are very early to propose these kind of changes, there will be a high element of inventive step. There will be more surprise. See, this breakfast spoon and fork. Generally, we have spoon and we use fork separately. What if fork is also present as a 2-in-1 in the same spoon? Then the management of this kind of what you call the spoon and fork in the hotel industry, it becomes simpler. So that is how we have to see. For example, I will give one example: office building. There is a fire. If there is going to be a fire in the office building, in India kind of locations, the office, it is very difficult to even locate an office or a house where the fire is happening unless the fire becomes very big. As soon as the fire starts, there must be a very big alarm which should be generated. The ambulance must get to know from the sound that is coming where is the building. In India, what happens is the sound comes from the ambulance. Actually, somebody thinks the other way around. Why not the sound come from the building which is stuck in fire? So those kind of small things only are considered for patenting. See, job search website is there. If you look at jobstreet.com, it will tell you clearly how many people have applied and what is the chance of me getting a job. This is a software invention. It keeps on tracking the qualification and what kind of people are applying and what is the relevance of the job, and then given my qualification and my way of applying and my skills, the search site itself tells clearly, if you apply for this job, the chances of getting job is very low. If you apply for different jobs, the chances of getting job is very high. The problem of the job searcher is simplified because a useful suggestion is given by the search website. All other things become very simple. Ventilated helmets. People don't use helmets because they cause sultry, lot of sweat happens, hair fall happens. What if helmets also are given proper ventilation? Ventilation, first time a ventilated helmet looks exciting, people will start wearing. Then, as and when we file a patent application, 18 months later, all the patents are published by the patent office. So anybody can get to know what is how the ventilated helmet is built. When they read the ventilated helmet, people can think of further improvements. He can find out that the air circulation in the helmet is very low. In that case, he will think of how to place the holes in a systematic way so that an increased ventilation or enhanced ventilation happens for the user. So he can file another patent. So the patent creation is keep looking at the existing ideas which are published and improve upon it. The improvement must look exciting. For the sake of improving, if we create small design around, it will be rejected and we will be wasting a lot of money. Patent office may even grant, but we cannot use it because the competitor will not agree and he may anytime invalidate the patent. Let us go to a few more examples. If you look at Dazzle cleaning liquid, I am not sure how many of you have used. We generally keep a bucket of water and then rinse a cloth in the water and then start mopping the floor. As and when we mop the floor, second time we dip the same cloth in the water gets dirty. And third time, fourth time, even before we finish cleaning, mopping the entire floor, at least 3-4 times we would have dipped the cloth, same cloth in the water. The water, clean water becomes dirty further. If you use Dazzle cleaning liquid, what happens is, there is a chemical in the liquid which makes all the dirt settle down. That means what? The top water will be clear water and the dirt will be settling down at the bottom of the bucket. That seems to be a very good idea, because when you rinse it for the second or third time, you will always be rinsing it in clean water because the dust gets settled down. So the Dazzle liquid itself is not patentable, but the chemical composition which has improved the cleaning liquid where it settles the dust down, that is an important point that we have to claim. We will also look at how to claim it. Let us see the third example, HSBC checkbook issuance. When the bank issues checkbook to us, assume we have 10 leaves in the checkbook. Bank will anyway know I have used 9 check leaves so far. Bank will be knowing, because whenever I issue check, the bank will be coming to know what is the check number. There will be entry in the computer for the check number that we have issued. Now bank knows only 10 check leaves has been issued to me. I am already in the 8th leaf. That means I have just 2 more leaves that are left with me. If it is a different bank, you have to use all the checkbook and apply for a checkbook. If it is HSBC, what they will do, they track in the computer that I am using 8th check leaf, and for 9th and 10th only 2 leaves are left with. They will automatically issue a checkbook to my house. Is it not an enhanced service? What is the idea here? Just tracking the number of the check leaves, tracking how many has been already issued. What is the difference? If the difference is very low, automatically issue a new checkbook. That's all is the point. The whole method, this becomes a business process. The checkbook is not new, everything is there already. How do you issue checkbook even without the customer asking? It is a very great customer service. That is what they have patented. Same thing if you look at any Samsung phone, so many ideas are there, but there is nothing is totally new. Many incremental changes only contribute to newness. The second one, if we see sound bulb, you might have seen bulbs are there at home, they give light. Separately people fix speakers and then have lot of cluttered wires around that connects from the main tape recorder. In this situation, what if the bulb and the speaker are integrated? And in that way, what happens, even the electric wire which is connected to the bulb, they also carry sound. So there is no separate speaker system, no lighting system. Speaker and lighting system are integrated into one, which is available in the market. Taiwanese company is even selling such sound bulbs in Bangalore. So this is an innovative product. There is nothing totally new. That's what we need to understand. We have to make a change, whether that change is solving a problem, whether the change is giving a surprise or wow factor. That's all we need to look at. Let us see some software examples. If you look at the connected car, this is called connected car. All the cars are connected by Wi-Fi. Imagine my car has been going through plenty of potholes and there is a lot of water. The road quality is very, very bad. Suddenly it has happened on the road. Then my car can send information to a central server. The central server will know that this path is not good, and it will give this road not good signal to other subscribers who really want this kind of information. He makes money, the server company makes money by picking up this information and delivering it to other people. What is new here? Car is not new, Wi-Fi is not new, server is not new, but what they are doing is new. That new point should be patented. That's all, as simple as it. Look at the second example. There is a stylus, there is a phone. Only when, even the idea here is, suddenly we may want to take down some mobile phone numbers. You have to write down. Somebody says phone number, and it's very difficult to quickly find a paper. Take out the stylus and then start writing it on the mobile phone itself. That's the idea. Even when the phone is locked, that means you don't need to open the phone at all. Even when the phone surface is dark, you can still write using the stylus. As simple as that. That means when the screen itself is not on, you are still able to take down notes on the phone. So everything is there, but how you are able to make it possible, that is patentable. If you look at the third example, people usually go and take a photocopy of the passport or ID card. After taking it, and then you get a photocopy of the ID card, and then people take the photocopy and go. What happens here? Many times people forget the ID card which is kept in the Xerox machine itself. Generally, it's a tendency of the people to forget to take the original. So what happens? There is a software running in this machine. If the original remains even after, imagine there is no people around, even after say 10 seconds, a few seconds, if the original is still remaining in the machine, an alarm beeps. This portion is patentable. Not the whole Xerox machine itself. People have improved it, but the change that you are bringing in the form of software is the problem of forgetting. It's a social problem. It's an important problem also. By beeping an alarm whenever you see an original document for longer time. That's how we need. Imagine on the right side there is a television and there is also a microwave in kitchen. Television is in the hall. Our women or even the gentlemen at home very fond of watching mega serials. When they continue to watch for longer time, they may forget that in the microwave some food materials are being cooked. It can get overcooked or it can get fully carbonated. So in this situation, what if after a certain time the TV shows what is happening inside the microwave? TV has been an independent equipment, microwave has been an independent equipment. We know that they will be connected in next few years. Already these devices are getting connected in the name of smart home. So what are you going to show where and what problem is solved? That is the point for patenting. During cooking, after some excessive hours, there is no attention received by the user. Then where is the user? Probably in particular time she will be near TV. Show the microwave on the TV. What is happening for the food? That point is patentable. Look at the left side. Nokia had a patent on when we are in a meeting, we receive ringtones. Whatever somebody is calling, incoming call arrives, the ringtone is very, very loud, and sometimes it causes embarrassing moment. What we do? Just place the mobile phone upside down. Keep it ulta. That time the mobile phone goes silent. That's a very good idea. It's a common problem, social problem. The way it is doing is there is a accelerometer or there is a sensor in the mobile phone. What is there is a computer program written. The computer program finds out, is there an incoming call? Yes. If there is an incoming call, is the ringtone ringing loudly? Yes. Speaker is high, volume is high, ringing is very high. Then check what is the input from the accelerometer. What is the input from the accelerometer? There is a movement, there is an upside down movement happening for the phone. If yes, there is a movement, then silence the call. That's all. The second, what we are trying to understand from the software examples is, we have to imagine our software invention as a flowchart. That is the main point. What is a flowchart? Flowchart will have input, processing, output. What is you can have inventions when you do lot of changes on the input or processor or output. Anywhere you can change. We have to use the principle of what, where, when, how, why. If we use all these things, you will be able to make a change. For example, let us look at this invention, middle row, left side, where the person is touching the phone. First point is check whether there is an incoming call. Yes, there is an incoming call. Whether the speaker is having very high volume. Yes, very high volume. Then check whether there is an input from the sensor, which is accelerometer or whatever sensor it is. Yes, the accelerometer reading is changing. That means somebody is making the phone ulta. Yes, then silence the ringtone. This is the flowchart. Same way you look at second one, the phone with just camera. This is called smile shot in Samsung. When we are taking a photo of a person, we can take a photo quickly as usual, but when the person is smiling, the phone will automatically take a picture. That is called smile shot. What is the use of taking automatically? The point is, we don't want to miss the smile. If I take a photo, I may miss, I may shake, but the camera doesn't miss the smile of a person. So what is the flowchart here that we will, flowchart means it's the method. How will you do the idea? What is the change and how will you do? This change can be anywhere in the form of what, when, where, how, which, why, all those. It can be in input, it can be in processing, it can be in the output side also. Where are you giving the output also can give surprise. The change has to give surprise. What is the change we will see. The flowchart for this idea will be check whether the camera is on. Yes, it is on. Check whether an object is visible. Yes, object is visible and it is a human being. All these are there. Software can understand it's a human being. Check whether the object is smiling. For that, you will have to write an algorithm. You will have to write out how the phone will detect this person is smiling. All that the phone will know is there is a large brown color face. And little 1/3 distance from the bottom, if it sees some white color spots, then it is assumed, the phone will assume that the person is smiling. That is how your computer understands with object recognition. And then, yes, the person is smiling means automatically take a picture. That's all. So the method, most of the time, the software will be in the form of a method. It will be in the form of a method steps. What is first, what is second, what is third, what is fourth. These 4-5 steps together don't exist in this world. One of the step is new. As long as you are able to show one of the step is new, this new step is going to give a surprising result, then you can apply for patent. For example, let us see this example, middle row, extreme right. The person is keeping his finger on the ears and he is also wearing a watch. Finger is known, face is known, watch is also known. Do you know what he is doing? The watch, he is talking to somebody through watch. If an incoming call comes, the watch sends the sound signal via his hand to the ears. It is called bone conduction. So then, whatever he speaks out, the sound goes directly into the watch. That means he doesn't need anything. The finger only takes the sound signal directly into his ears. Because of this, what is the advantage? The ear has generally two parts. One is outer ear and inner ear. Most of the deaf people will have a bad outer ear only. So when the finger goes directly inside, what happens? Even the deaf people can hear what is the conversation. So that level, what is new here? Bone conduction is known, but sending sound signals from the watch through the hand directly into the ears is new. That's all we have to understand as a flowchart. let us go to the last row, first point where there is a shopping cart. Imagine I have gone via Big Bazaar. I have been traveling to office every day and I have passed through the Big Bazaar. Big Bazaar is a big shop. And then later, some other time, my wife also passes through that way. She also comes via Big Bazaar. Her phone will tell, dear, your husband passed through this way, Big Bazaar. You had given him a shopping list, but he did not care to buy anything in the Big Bazaar. He proceeded as it is. That means what? My phone is connected, her phone is connected, and she knows that I have gone via Big Bazaar. I didn't make any purchase. And the phone knows everything because she has only given me the shopping cart, what I have to buy, that instruction is given. But I did not go into the Big Bazaar because the location shows outside Big Bazaar. If I had gone inside Big Bazaar, it would have given alert to my wife that I have gone inside to purchase the rice bag. So something like that. Everything is there. You have to write a flow. You have to bring a new flow and create a result. That is what is called software patent. All other examples are simple examples for you. Let us understand. Are you able to see the slide now? Yes.
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 We are able to see the slide.
Okay. So now, let us understand how are we going to claim this software. 99% it is generally the method. Method means what? What are we doing? Input, processing, output. Imagine your idea in the form of a flowchart. At the end, there is a result which solves a problem, which also gives a surprise. We will see some examples of the method also, how it is claimed in the next few slides. Otherwise, you can create a system. System means what? In the example that we just saw, there is a car, there is a first user, there is a server, there is a second car and a second user. The first car passes via a bad road. This information goes to server and then server passes the message to the subscribed users. Subscribed second users derive the benefit of the result of the server. This is a system because there is a server, there is a one first user, there is another user. We are covering a very larger environment. Therefore, you can write it as a system. Method means simply you say receiving the road condition from the first user. How will you receive road condition from the first user? There is an accelerometer kept in the car. How much the car is jumping is measured by an equipment. The result from that equipment goes to the server. If there is a bad jump, lot of information goes that the road is completely bad. This information goes to second server. That is one point. If the server also proposes an alternate route for him to reach his place quickly, then also you have additional point as invention. So one is method, then is system, then is apparatus. In a software invention, it is very, very difficult to claim an apparatus. Generally, what an apparatus is a computer or any new hardware. If there is no hardware change, then it is difficult to claim it as an apparatus. Software is generally in the form of a method or system. It can be also in the form of a user interface. User interface means a slide to unlock. You keep the hand receiving an input on the first point and then checking whether the point moves along a definite predefined direction. Yes, the touched point moves along a direction. Then unlock the phone. That is called slide to unlock. This can be a user interface pattern. It is still covered well in the form of a method only. Okay. And then computer readable medium. Computer readable medium means it's just a CD. It's a CD where your software is kept. It is very difficult to get a patent on it in India, but in US and EP they agree because only the software is there in the CD. It is protected by copyright in India. And there is a signal claim. Signal means what? If we can transmit the software, Windows is downloaded. In that way, somebody sends the signal of our entire Windows or application into our computer. The signal also we can file a patent, but in some countries they are not allowing. In Europe you can do, because if it is Airtel, for example, there is an operator who is going to send the same signal which is patented by somebody else. The signal carries the software that we have created. So somebody sending a signal carrying our software, he can also be an infringer. That is the motive why signal is allowed in some places like Europe, and in other places signal is considered intangible. You cannot even see. Then in that case it is not patentable. So software is transformed in the form of a method, system if it is a large environment, apparatus. You can say a computer configured to carry out the method as claimed in claim 1 to 10. That is how we should write. Apparatus itself is not new, but the apparatus performing the method is new. That is how we can get a patent. So anybody using the method, using the system, using the apparatus, user interface, CD or signal, all of them have to pay royalty for the software which we have patented. That is the principle behind the use.
Yeah.
This is how do we claim an invention? We just understood, right? How do we claim is we have to condense the algorithm, the application, link them, take it in the form of a flow chart. That's all. It should be clear, it should have clarity, it should have completeness, it should have antecedent basis, and we should have a description alongside. These are all legal language, but once we see the claim you will understand easily. I am not taking a software example for claiming. If you want we can still discuss the software example. This is a table example. Okay. What will be there? This is an example of a claim. We claim or I claim. That is the format. A table for supporting a stove. A table for supporting a stove. Comprising. This comprising is a legal word. Okay. I will explain to you what this is. There must be a comma, and then let us see what all this table has. The table has a base, the plurality of legs supporting the base. Okay. At least one bush fitted to each leg. At least one heat resistant sheet provided on the base. Now, if we write claim this way, what a competitor can copy and what he cannot copy, that is what we need to understand. If there is a competitor's product, if it has base, legs, bush, heat resistant sheet, if competitor product has all these 4 elements, then he has to pay royalty to you. If whatever is there in the first claim, if it is there in the competitor's product, competitor has to pay royalty to patent holder. This is the basic principle of claiming. It's called all elements rule. All elements in my first claim are there in the copied product. So what we should do while writing the claim, we should make sure that we have the minimum essential feature. Minimum essential features must be there in the claim. If we write too many things in the claim, the copying person can leave some of the elements and keep only small portion. If he is removing some elements from the claim, that means he is not using all the claim. If I have 4 and he uses only 3 elements in the claim, he need not pay royalty to us. This is the worldwide rule. Look at what is the point. Generally, this word comprising is the legal word. That means you have 4 elements after comprising, and the competitor products, if he has 4 elements plus more elements, 5th, 6th, 7th, anything he can have, 4 plus extra if he adds, then also he should pay royalty to us, royalty to the patent holder. If we use the word consisting of instead of comprising, if we use consisting of, then competitor must have only 4. If we use as extra, he need not pay royalty to us. That is the legal meaning of this comprising. So generally people use comprising only. People don't use consisting of unless you are into a legal situation to use consisting of. Now there is this word called and otherwise called wherein, otherwise called characterized in that. Whatever feature come after this and or characterized in that or wherein, these are all called transition clause. Transition clause means we are shifting to novel portion. We have 4 points here: base, leg, bush, heat resistant sheet. By reading the claim itself, easy to understand, heat resistant sheet is the novel point. Base is already there in this world. Legs are also there already in this world. And heat resistant sheet has not been there in this world. This heat resistant sheet is the new point. That means if the stove generates high temperature, the person cooking and the table also will not feel the heat. The table is a more durable table. The heat resistant sheet, nobody so far has made a heat resistant sheet on a table. You are the first one to make the heat resistant sheet on the table. But suddenly if you simply write one line, the claim grammar says in one line you cannot make a claim. It will be rejected. So you have to first explain. If you have to explain an elephant, if we have to explain an elephant to a person who has not seen the elephant at all, how will you do? That is what we are trying to do in making the claim. The elephant includes a large body. You can even say substantially cylindrical body, a large drum shaped body, a head attached to the front side of the drum. Just imagine, first we are saying there is a drum shaped body, that is the base, and then we are taking a new part which is the head connecting to the drum, which we have already told. This is called antecedent basis. Introduce a new part to an existing part, so that the person will draw a picture in the mind when he is understanding what the reader is saying. A drum shaped body, a head attached to the front side of the drum, a tail attached to the second end of the drum. That's all. A trunk attached to the head. That's all. If it is not attached, you can still say provided. You can be attached, it can be fixed, it can be anything. Simply say provided. How it is provided you can explain later. Now we have written a new part, red color. Bush fitted onto each leg is unnecessary, because a copying person can remove the bush and then still enjoy the essence of the invention, because bush is only a auxiliary part. It's a decorative part or it's an unnecessary part. Base, leg is necessary. Even without the leg he cannot have a base. And then a heat resistant sheet kept. So anybody using heat resistant sheet on a base which has several legs, he has to pay royalty to us. What if we find this is not novel? During prosecution you will get to know heat resistant sheet is already there in the world. Somebody gives a literature saying that heat resistant sheet is already there. What will you do? That is why we have dependent claims. According to claim 1, wherein resistant sheet has nickel or nickel alloy. Further claims are there. Nickel, so much percentage of nickel, so much percentage of chromium. What is the use of this? If we come to know 1 or 2 years later during examination that the first claim is not novel, all the 3 parts, all the 4 elements are already there in a published literature, then you can edit the first claim by taking points from the second claim and attaching it to the first claim. For example, the heat resistant sheet comprising a nickel alloy is provided on the base. Then nickel, nobody used it, only heat resistant sheet is there. That nickel alone is new for you. Earlier, anybody who is using heat resistant sheet will pay royalty to you. Now, your idea itself is not novel. Anybody who is using nickel heat resistant sheet, he will only pay royalty to you. This way we can narrow down. Even if nickel is found, then some percentage of nickel, some percentage of chromium gives the best heat resistance effect in your research. You can use that, and only when we narrow down the claim, then our ability to collect royalty also reduces because our invention becomes weaker and weaker. That is the essence of how do we write a claim. Same thing you will write for a software. We just learned while talking how it will be how the claim will be made for software. It will be method. For example, smile shot camera. Smile shot camera means what? A method of, I'm just telling you the claim. A method of capturing an image comprising. A method for capturing an image comprising. Detecting an object in a preview, in a camera preview. Detecting an object in a camera preview. Detecting that the object indicates smiling. Detecting that the object indicates smiling. Then next, and you have to write and say automatically capture the image. That's all. Only 3 steps will be there. Object, detecting smile, automatically capturing the image. If anybody is going to do this, they have to pay royalty to us. Then you will have dependent claims. Sorry. We will have dependent claims. What will be the dependent claim? A method of capturing image further according to claim 1, further comprising detecting smile includes detecting white spots in the object. Detecting white spots in the object. Now, this is important claim as a second claim. We don't want to say white spots in the first claim. First claim we want to say if somebody is smiling, we will automatically take a picture. Now, what if this is already there in the literature? What if this point is already there in the literature? Smiling and automatically taking picture is already known. You cannot get patent for it. But you have to do further research to find out how is the smile detected in the literature. If they are talking a very roundabout, a very long method, then your method of detecting white spots on the object, then white spots are there, it indicates smiling. That you can patent. You have to edit the second claim into first claim, comprising, the second claim will say detecting smile by checking for white spots on the object. Then automatically capturing an image if white spots are detected. That's all. But first level will be smile shot. Second level only will be detecting smiles via white spots. That is how we should do. This way, this is how invention evolves. Even if somebody says white spot detection is very bad, still you cannot detect smile properly. Then you will have a lot of other algorithms. Some may be known, some may be new also. But how will you use in capturing an image? That is what we will be patenting, not the algorithm itself. The algorithm itself will be looking as abstract because it will have a lot of mathematics in it. Connect the algorithm with the image capture, then you will get a patent. That is what we should do. Now for an idea, how do we know what is a great idea, what is a weak idea? First of all, we have to always measure these 1, 2, 3, 4 points and in a group opinion. You have to have a group of people. You should have this as in one column: technical, business, competitive, and ease of detecting when somebody is going to copy. What we do is you should always rate the technical merit in a group as high, medium, low. High, medium, low. That's all we can do. We cannot do anything because everything is subjective. Technical advancement, technical merit means what? Whether this idea really improves the technology or not. Yes, some people will say small amount, some people will say it's a big amount. So you have to take ratings of high, medium and low in a group and then take a decision of if technically it is very high, then you have to check whether sales will be high or not. This business merit is generally in the form of sales, whether people will like it, whether customers will like it or not. whether it is in a main product or this will go in some kind of accessory, where it will go. With those kind of points, you will get to know that whether sales will be high or low. Then competitive merit. Competitive merit means what? It is only we have this solution, others don't have even this kind of solution. We are the first one to really come up with this kind of solution. We know it is a weak solution, but competitiveness is very high. That means others don't have even this. In that situation, your competitive merit will be generally rated as high. Ease of infringement detectability means what? Whether we can detect it easily or we have to make some effort to detect the infringement. Based on that, you can rate it as high, medium, low. Once you get all the scores, technical, business, competitive and ease, if you get high, medium, low, you can take an internal decision on whether you want to spend money on patent protection or do you want to just publish it and leave it as it is. This is one way. There is no valuation. Nobody can do valuation of patent when we don't know what is the valuation of our patent. We can only know what is a high value patent, what is a medium value patent, what is a low value patent, by getting this kind of scores from several people, and every 2 years you should do this exercise for the same patent. Otherwise, because the technology is changing, time is changing, these things will vary. What was considered not at all feasible, very bad idea 5 years ago, is very, very good idea this now, because the world has changed, so many new possibilities have emerged. So continuously you have to evaluate. If you have filed a patent, sometimes it is always better to file and fail. File and fail means file a patent, it's okay. Don't proceed later if you think that it is an utter waste idea. Proceed with foreign filings if the ratings are very high in a group evaluation. This is how even we do in Samsung. There is no better way of doing than just measuring the merit in different angles in a group opinion. Never go for an individual opinion. Even in Samsung, one person will never tell what is right, what is wrong. It is always a group opinion. Only then it will motivate the inventor. For the questions that you have asked also, how do we even analyze patents? What we use is Relecura, and Thomson Innovation is also there. Thomson Innovation is very expensive. Relecura is an Indian company. Whatever changes you want, they will help getting it done for you. It is a good company. Patent analysis means what? If an idea is submitted, we can check whether this idea is new or not. It is called searching, patent searching. There are 4 million documents. Patent engineers are skilled to find out whether this idea already exists in the form of patents or literature or not. That is novelty. Only novelty can be checked. Now, we have found some closest idea in the literature. What is the difference between the idea that we found and our idea? The difference is the measure of inventive step. If the difference is giving a bigger result, then it will be surprising. It will have wow factor. You can apply for patenting. If the result is very small, then you can try to improve and you can file just Indian patent alone. You don't need to file foreign patent. Just for motivational purposes, file in India and then continue to improve upon the invention and then have new filings in the later period. Tools for patent analysis means you can also find what is the emerging area. If we give some keywords into this Relecura tool, it will open up into, very easily it will give a landscape. What is landscape is here. Sample result of analysis. You see the graph on the right side. On the right side we see company names. On the left side we see technology names. As simple as that. These are all artificial intelligence is being used to give this kind of graphs. Sometimes this may be highly relevant, sometimes this may not be useful at all for us. You need to be aware of. Now, on the right side you have companies, on the left side you have technologies. If you look at, maybe your name also will come if you are one of the important patent filers. If you have only idea, you have a patent on it, or you are looking for partners to monetize. That was also a question asked. In that case, what you can do, look here somewhere in the right side, Sanyo. If you look at Sanyo, they have very low patents on dopants. Okay, and they have high patents on all other technologies. So if you have a patent on dopants, you may want to try it out with Sanyo, because all other competitors, the top competitors, seem to be having high number of patents. Sanyo doesn't have that much. You can offer your patent to them and you may try monetizing them. This is for monetizing purposes. The same chart, if you little bit twist, that means don't use companies here. Keep the same technology areas at the bottom. From here on the right side, instead of company names, use years, 2015, 2016, 2017, like that. You can have last 5 years. Then you will know which technology is emerging. Emerging means some technologies won't be there at all in the past 3 years. Only in the recent 2 years, you will see some technologies that are being filed as patent applications. With that, it will give you an indication that whatever research projects that you all have, whether that falls in an emerging area or they fall into outdated area. And you will get to know what new areas are there where you can think of creating inventions for patent filing. There are some free tools available, but free tools are really useless tools most of the time. You have to pay money. See, this Relecura, I think it costs around 2.5 lakhs per year. 2.5 lakhs per year, sometimes if you want very advanced features, you can take 6 lakhs subscription. 2.5 lakhs subscription works wonders. We use it and it's very simple to really give some keywords. It will automatically give these kind of concepts or technologies. And from there you can find out where there is opportunity to create patents. That's all I have for presentation today.